Männer! Es war ein langer Krieg. Es war ein tapfer Krieg. Ihr habt tapfer und stolz für euer Vaterland gekämpft. Seid eine besondere Truppe, die ineinander einen...
Hey everyone, this is the Hydra Hut, and we're going to talk about Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 2. This is issue 3. Before I get into it, I just realized that I think I've worn brown pants in every car video I've done. Rest assured, I do own more than one pair of pants, and they're not all brown. It's just a weird coincidence, and nothing else. So, this is by James Tynion the fourth. Freddie Williams is doing the art. Ferrier and Colwell are part of this too. This is by IDW and DC. The first Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover was solid. It was a real good story. Plus you get full Freddie art, which is fantastic. He does most of the covers. This one's actually a Kevin Eastman variant. Personally, I like Freddie's art better, but Eastman's OG, so can't hate on that. I was going to cover the credits a little bit more, but they kind of... here we go. So it's actually... the plot is by James Tynion. The dialogue is by Ryan Ferrier. The art is by Freddie, and the colors are by Jeremy Colwell. This is something I've been seeing a lot lately, and I don't understand why. But you get plot by one dude, and then dialogue by some other guy. So somebody comes up with a story, and then they have some random that they can pay a lot less do the actual writing. Seems like a pretty chintzy way to go about things, if you ask me. But I'm not DC or Marvel or anybody else. We start out with this. Well, okay. So the last 2 issues, basically what happened is Donnie's lack of confidence in himself led to Batman and Bane being brought back to Donnie's timeline. Well, led to Bane coming back to Donnie's timeline. In the Turtles timeline, and Donnie went to Batman's. There they went ahead and got themselves back to the Turtles timeline to try and bring Bane back to where he belongs. Of course, we got Damian Wayne going with Batman. Issue 2, they're basically all back in the Turtle universe, and Bane has effectively taken control of the Foot. This is because I think it was Shredder. He's either dead or out of commission, and they're calling him dead, but I'm pretty sure he's just out of commission. I think he's in prison, if I remember right. And his daughter tried taking over the Foot Clan, but nobody really gave a shit about her, so there's caused a huge divide. Bane showed up, was all powerful, took over the Foot Clan, and now he has a doctor working on creating Venom, which is the stuff he uses to give himself power. Superpower, basically. And they're making a synthetic version. So this one, we start off with a very intense scene with Damian, we think, in the middle of some sort of epic battle. And he's doing his typical, I'm the greatest, blah, 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 I am unbeatable. And it turns out that him and Donnie are just playing Laser Pony Racer Destruction Grotto. Donnie punked him out. That, of course, pissed him off because he's still just a little kid. He starts insulting and just ragging on the Turtles. That, of course, pisses off Raph, and we get this nice little conflict between them as the rest of the story carries on in the background. We join the others, basically hunting down Bane. We get a lot of information as to where Bane is. We get this amazing artwork by Freddie. Story carries along real nice. Tynion did a good job with the plot. The rando they got writing it did a good job laying down the dialogue. Cool thing about Bane is he's very, and I guess it's kind of just overall for the character, but this especially, he's very Shakespearean. All of his stuff is very, very deep monologues. I mean, considering it's, I don't know. I think it's hard to get. Anyway, his monologues are all very Shakespearean, very dramatic, very arch-villain, which is cool. I like it. You don't see that a lot. A lot of times they really kind of mock that. And the whole time, Bane consistently looks like a badass. And of course, they decide to test the mutagen that the synthetic mutagen that they're working on. They're going to test that on Rocksteady and Bebop. We're pretty worried about it, but they end up loving it. They do a great job on Rocksteady and Bebop too. Those are some of my favorite villains from the Turtle universe. April, she's under her redhead form, which I prefer. They did some crazy work on her eyes. You know, interesting, but I like it. Overall, her and Casey, the humans, the normal humans, all kind of look small and dirty, and it's just the coloring, and it's, you know, not a problem. It just kind of is a little bit distracting. So, one thing I don't like about this is how hard Donnie is on himself. Nobody else really is. So it is just kind of a personal thing, and I get that. Everybody's hardest on themselves. It's just, in all the other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you never really saw Donnie quite this vulnerable, and they're really, 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 really riding him in this one. Action scenes are great, especially this fight between Damian Wayne and Raph. The characters are almost exactly the same as far as their ego and their maturity level. And they're also both basically the top fighters in their little groups. So this is obviously a match made in heaven. The fight is great. Very, very intense. Starts to get out of control, but dads show up, break up the fight, and they realize that they got to go and take down Bane. When they go, Donnie is doing his typical smart guy routine, and then he's the first one to realize that they just walked into a trap. And then that's when we get to see this amazing spreadsheet or spread page with Rocksteady, Bebop, looking cool as hell, all baned out. I'm gonna actually stop. Do one more. Let's say the last page is cool. I really, 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 really like what they did with Bane on the last page of this. Pretty much every issue has been ending with a really strong single page spread of Bane doing something badass, which is nice. And they also always give the main characters, which I consider to be the Turtles, some sort of scene that makes them look impressive in some way or another, even if it's just kind of getting your ass kicked by a little boy. Getting captured and surrounded by Bane foot ninjas. They also make a lot of jokes, or they make some jokes about luchadors at the end. That's pretty Turtle-esque, kind of like that. Let's take a look at some variant covers, if I can, without ruining what happened. And of course, we have this primer shit in the back for the Terrifics. And I'm sorry, I'm just not stoked for the Terrifics. They don't do it for me. Here's some of the variant covers. What the hell is that? That's not April. It looks like a redheaded Miss Sashi. Miss Sashi. Anyway, guys, I do recommend this. If you haven't been reading it, there's only 2 other issues that'll catch you up. If you don't see them, you can definitely pick this one up. You're not going to feel confused. You'll be entertained. It's a good book. This came out like 2 weeks ago, and I just haven't bothered reviewing it yet, but it's solid. So I would take a look at it. And I think my next review is going to be on the Batman and Detective books. I really don't like Days of Our Bats, or whatever the hell soap opera bullshit they're pulling. So in a couple hours I'll do that one and see if I can get that up today as well. Thanks for sticking it out. Hail Hydra, baby. Thank you.